Hello and welcome to another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. It's a Storm of Magic battle. It's been a while since we've done one, so we wanted to do something a bit crazy and fun. And this is Dark Elves, which I'm using, versus Skaven. So 2,500 points with 625 points of monsters. And this is going to be a video battle report, so there's a few slides at the start to show deployment, and then it'll be videos. So we'll start with my left flank, and we've got 5 Doomfire Warlocks, and behind them is a greater Magma Dragon, which is actually the Warpfire Dragon model. There's 19 Blackguard being represented by Swordmasters and 30 Witch Elves. And over on the right there's the giant 6 Cold War Knights. Those Glade Rider models in the middle are actually Dark Riders with crossbows and shields. 10 crossbowmen behind them, and on the fulcrum is Malekith. Should mention on the other fulcrum is just a level 2 sorceress on steed, and over on the far right there's my master on Pegasus. Skaven left flank, and apologies for the picture quality. There's a Doom Wheel on the far left, then 44 clan rats with spears and shields, poison with mortar, Greyseer on fulcrum, and the terrifyingly huge Toad Dragon. In the centre of the field they've got their 40, I believe it's 40 Storm Vermin and another Poison with Mortar, a cannon at the back, a Vermin Lord Corruptor on the fulcrum, which is being protected, not that it needs any protection, but which has 40 Plague Monks and a Plague Furnace in front of it, and that Manticore model is actually a Bale Taurus. And you can just see on the far right the black shape there is actually a Brood Horror model being used as a Hellpit Abomination. For my spells, Malekith got Word of Pain, Shroud of Despair, Soul Stealer and Power of Darkness. My Life Wizard got Flesh to Stone and Throne of Vines, and the Metal Wizard got Searing Doom and Enchanted Blades. And then the Skaven, Greyseer got Howling Warpgale, Dreaded 13th, Skitterleap and Scorch. Plague Priest got Blessed with Filth, and the Vermin Lord got Wither, Plague, Cloud of Corruption and Vermintide.
Okay, Skaven turn 1 movement. We just kind of moved everything up really. The Doom Wheel moved 8 inches up. Clan Rat's moved up a little bit. Toad Dragon just sitting in front of that guy, so he has to go through that, which is hilarious. Storm Vermin marked up a little bit. Their Poison and Mortar moved to there. Plague Monks held. I had to roll for their frenzy check, and they stuck there. Hellpit Abomination marched 17 inches forwards, so now he's making these guys very scared. And this Manticore is actually a Bale Taurus, and he's showing up there, and that's all the movement. Okay, Skaven turn 1 magic phase. My Greyseer started off by casting Howling Warpgale, which the Dark Elves failed to dispel, so I've got Howling Warpgale on, which is good. My Plague Priest miscast casting Blessed with Filth, which obviously successfully cast, but now he's lost his 1 wizard level. And I failed to cast a summoning spell with the Greyseer, and that's it. Okay, Skaven turn 1 shooting, and I was given an abject lesson in how good Skaven are at doing anything, because this Poison with Mortar fired at the Witch Elves here, got a misfire, and it was redirected into nowhere. This Poison with Mortar fired at these, they look like the Elves, but they're actually Dark Riders. He also misfired and missed. The Warp Lightning Cannon fired all the way over here at Malekith. Hit the fulcrum well, but then rolled a misfire for the strength, and therefore the strength at 0. The Doom Wheel targeted the missing Dark Lord, but it's Dark Lord on Pegasus.
Master on Pegasus.
Master on Pegasus, sorry. Got strength 8 for the strength, but wounded twice, but Jack's got the
Cloak of Twilight.
Cloak of Twilight, and with 3 forward save extra to attack, he saved both of them.
So Dark Elves turn 1 movement phase. The Witch Elves charge the Hellpit Abomination. And the only other charge was my Master on Pegasus. Even though he couldn't fly because Howling Warpgale's up, he just about made his charge on a 9 into the Doom Wheel and passed his dangerous terrain test. Everyone else sort of moved up very cautiously. My ranged troops stood still. Giant moved up a little. Hydra and Knights moved up. Blackguard shuffled over a little bit. My Magma Dragon could only move 6, so just moved 12 because of Howling Warp Gale. And my Doomfire Warlocks moved around. I forgot to Vanguard them. So Dark Elves Magic Phase in turn 1. Started off with a Soul Stealer from Malekith onto the Clan Rats. I killed 7 Clan Rats and actually rolled 5 4+, so I gained 5 wounds. Malekith now has 8 wounds. I then cast with my Sorceress of Metal 2+ Ward Save, which is a Storm of Magic spell, onto the Witch Elves, but that was dispelled. However, she did get through the Equilibrium spell onto them, which means they now wound automatically and ignore armor saves. And then I also cast Flesh to Stone onto the Blackguard, although that was pretty inconsequential, but I don't think I cast anything else, did I? That was it. Okay, on to shooting. So in my shooting phase, the Dark Riders shot at the Poison Wind Mortar, caused 1 wound, but it saved it with its ward save. The Dread, what are they called? Crossbowmen were outside of range to shoot at that, so they shot the Toad Dragon and didn't do anything. Then in combat, obviously it was a foregone conclusion with the Witch Elves. They just destroyed the Help Abomination. The Master on Pegasus caused 1 wound to the can't remember what it's called now. Doom Wheel. Caused 1 wound, didn't suffer any return, 1 by 2, and ran it down. He rolled like an 11 to pursue, which is good. So now we can get round to the flank and have a go at the Grace here, hopefully. That's the end of my turn, so it's on to Skaven turn 2.
Summary of Skaven movement. The Plague Monks failed their frenzy check and charged straight into the Witch Elves. The Baal Taurus moved all the way over here, ready to charge this Fulcrum. The Storm Vermin just moved around there a little bit, and so did the Clan Rats, and that's all the movement. Skaven magic. The Vermin Lord started by casting Plague on the Witch Elves, which was dispelled by a Dispel Scroll. Then the Grey Seer decided to do something horrendous and cast Friday the 13th on the 1 Sorceress who was in here. Successfully cast it on a miscast. She died, obviously, and now as a result of the miscast, he suffered 1 wound, and the rest of the dice were lost in the power pools, and only 1 left. Now the range of all spells, charges, and shooting attacks is now limited to 11, thanks to the Arcane Fulcrum miscast table. So Skaven final summary. The shooting phase didn't do anything because obviously all the ranges were limited to 11. Only 1 combat is a result of it. The Witch Elves attacked first. They destroyed the Plague Furnace, taking 6 wounds, and the Plague Priest causing 2. And they killed 14 Plague Monks because they were wounded automatically. The Plague Monks struck back with Righteous Fury and killed 29 of them. There's the 1 left. She fled 4 and they pursued 2. So she is 2 inches away and she's not a happy bunny.
Dark Elves turn 2, end of the movement phase. My Blackguard charged the Plague Monks, and my Magma Dragon moved up to near the Vermin Lord on the Fulcrum, and the Doomfire Warlocks are moving to threaten the Warpfire Cannon. Hydra charged formerly the Sorceress, who's now a Clan Rat. Cold Ones shuffled over, no one else moved over here. I sort of barreled my giant forwards because I was fed up with that Toad Dragon, and I reckon, I don't know, I mean, yeah, the odds are not in his favour, but I think with a bit of luck he could take that Toad Dragon. And my Master on Pegasus flew round to threaten the Grey Seer on Fulcrum. Okay, so Dark Elf turn 2, end of the magic phase. Malekith started off with a nice little Soul Stealer, killing 8 Storm Vermin, which boosted him up to his maximum of 10 wounds. Just in case 8 wounds wasn't enough, I thought I'd better add 2 on there. I then went on to cast Flesh to Stone on the Blackguard, but that was failed to cast. I tried to cast Choking Foe with the Doomfire Warlocks onto the Toad Dragon, which would probably cause quite a few wounds, but that was dispelled. I then cast Unbind Monster with Malekith on the Toad Dragon. That was Dispel Scroll. That's far too dangerous to let that through. And then finally I failed to cast Doombolt with the Warlocks onto the cannon. In the shooting phase, my Dark Riders killed the Poison Wind Mortar, not the Warfire Thrower, and my Dark Shard Crossbowmen Elves shot at the Toad Dragon and caused a wound. And then in the combat phase, the Hydra managed to kill the Clan Rat, although it did take a wound. Fortunately, it saved the wound with its scaly skin. And then in the combat next to it, the Blackguard killed 9 of the Plague Monks, only losing 3 in return. Plague Monks have now broken Ran 6 and the Blackguard caught them, so we'll move them in a second.
Skaven movement. Toad Dragons charge the Giant. Just thought, why the hell not? Bale Taurus over here. Let's charge this person. They're going to die. And the Clan Rats have just turned around ready to charge the Pegasus in the rear when he does charge the Greyseer, and just hope that Greyseer can survive one round of combat. That's all the movement. Skaven turn 3 magic. Started off with the Vermin Lord casting the Present Catalysm spell for Plague, which halves the toughness of all enemy models in 12 inches. I rolled about 29 to cast, I think, and Jack dispelled that. I then cast Vermintide towards the Magma Dragon, but didn't do any wounds. And last of all, I cast Wither on the Magma Dragon, which is permanently reduces toughness by 1. And unfortunately, I got a miscast. He lost 1 wizard level, thankfully only 1. And once again, the range of all spells, shooting, etc., 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 has been reduced to, this time it's 13. How appropriate. So Skaven shooting first. The Poison Wind Mortar here was just about in range to aim at the Blackguard. It did scatter away from them, so it killed 1. The now non-existent Warp Lightning Cannon fired. Of course it misfired because it's Skaven and it blew up. That was all the shooting. In the combat phase, the Bale Taurus charged this person and killed it very easily. And he ran to there. Oh, the very sad thing happened over here. The Giant got thumped with club and caused 9 wounds.
It caused 7 and you'd already taken 1. No?
Caused 7 wounds, sorry, it caused 7 wounds. The Toad Dragon attacked back, it caused a couple of wounds from its attacks. Its breath weapon means that the Giant's supposed to take 2d6 toughness tests.
That caused D3 wounds.
That caused D3 wounds each. But this is the roll he got, and didn't fail a single toughness test. So the Toad Dragon fled, and the Giant pursued, presumably picking him up by the tail and eating him or something, because he's now dead.
Dark Elf turn 3, enter the movement phase. The Giant and the Master charge the Greyseer on the Fulcrum. And the Magma Dragon charges the Vermin Lord. Got the Warlocks and Blackguard are moving around to the flank of the Storm Vermin. Hydra just moves up. My Lone Witch Elf still hasn't rallied. Cold War Knights just move up out of the charge arc of the Storm Vermin. And I've got a little firing arc facing towards the Bale Taurus. And in the magic phase, a Doombolt from the Warlocks killed 15 of the Storm Vermin, but they passed their panic. A Soul Stealer from Malekith on them was dispelled. Malekith cast Power of Darkness then and got 3 power dice, but he took a wound. He's only got 9 left now, so a bit worrying. And I then cast, with those extra dice that I summoned, I cast the Choking Foe on the Bale Taurus, but it only lost a single wound. That's a remains in place spell. In the shooting phase, my crossbowmen and Dark Riders shot at the Taurus, and together they did a wound to it. And now it's on to the combat with the Fulcrum, so we'll see you at the end of the combat phase. So in combat, the Giant got swing with club and did d6 strength 6 hits against the Grey Seer, and only did 1 wound, so the Grey Seer's still got 1 wound left. And he's stuck as well, he's leadership 7, but he's stubborn on the Fulcrum. And then over here, the Vermin Lord did a wound to the Magma Dragon.
2 wounds.
Oh, sorry, 2 wounds to the Magma Dragon, and only took 1 in return. It took 6 wounds from the Magma Dragon's strength 7 breast weapon, but it saved all of them with its 3+ ward. So it was a draw, and yes, actually quite a surprising result there.
It's the beginning of turn 4. The Bale Taurus has moved from here to here. The Storm Vermin have just moved out of the Blackguard's arc, and the Clan Rats have charged into the rear of the Master with Pegasus back there. That's the movement. The Skaven magic phase started off by trying to cast Kettle Leap with this Grey Seer, which was dispelled by Malekith. I then tried to cast Air of Pestilence with the Vermin Lord, which would have halved all these guys' toughnesses, and Jack just about dispelled that as well. So I then cast Plague on them, didn't kill any of them, but killed 7 Blackguard. And last of all, I cast, I can't remember what it's called, one of the cantrips, which means that my Grey Seer just moved simply from here to here. So I basically got 2 goes of Kettle Leap.
And also you dispel the choking flow.
And I dispelled choking flow on flow on my Bale Taurus. Okay, back for the combat phase. Clan Rats did 1 wound on the Master on Pegasus. He did 3 wounds in return, and they won by 5, mainly because of the vast number of ranks. But he held, although he passed his 4+ Legion test not to flee, but then failed his Legion test to turn around. And then over here, the Vermin Lord did 1 wound on Magma Dragon, who did no wounds in return, but the Magma Dragon stuck around.
So it's the end of Dark Elf movement, turn 4. My Witch Elf fails to rally again and is inching very gradually towards the board edge. The Hydra doubles back and heads towards the Grey Seer. And the Warlocks also come round and are just in range to cast something, maybe. The Blackguard, there's only 4 of them left now. They sort of make their way to just get out of the way and get out of range of the Grey Seer's dreaded 13th potentially. Giant stays there, guarding the Fulcrum. Cold War Knights angle so that next turn they should be able to get a charge on the Clan Rats if they're still there. Assuming that the Master hasn't killed them all. And I just again get another firing arc onto the Grey Seer. It's a long shot as he's in hard cover, but it's worth a shot. In my magic phase, I cast Choking Foe with the Warlocks onto the Grey Seer, and Dan let that through. I then tried to summon, I only have presence, so I had enough to summon like a cheap wizard, like a Beastman Shaman, cast a spell, but it was dispelled. I then cast Doombolt onto the Grey Seer, only caused 4 wounds. I just wanted to make sure that he died in case Choking Foe didn't kill him, and managed to sneak a wound through, and he died. In the shooting phase, my crossbows and 2 of the Glade, 2 of the Dark Riders killed 3 Storm Vermin. And at the end of my combat phase, my Master took another wound, so he's got 1 left, and he's continuing to wail on the Clan Rats, killed 4 more. He's stuck, and this time we turn round and in a better position to charge them next turn, hopefully. And then over here, the Magma Dragon failed to cause any wounds, and it took 2, so it lost combat by 2 and stuck, so it's only got 2 wounds left now, and the Vermin Lord suffered 1. So not what I was expecting at all. I thought that I think we both thought the Magma Dragon would just destroy the Vermin Lord, but it's a 3+ ward save that just can't get past it.
Quick summary of Skaven turn 5 movement. Bale Taurus has charged the
Doomfire Warlocks.
Doomfire Warlocks. Storm Vermin just moved into here, and that's it. That's all I've got left. Okay, in the magic phase, the Vermin Lord tried to summon some units, and he failed to beat the casting roll. So he's got broken concentration, and I can't cast any more spells because he's my only wizard. Combat phase. The Clown Rats didn't manage to do any wounds on the Master. He caused a few wounds of a turn, but they won by one because of the Musician when he stuck around. Balefire Taurus wiped out the Doomfire Warlocks.
Took 2 wounds in return.
Took 2 wounds in return, unfortunately, so he's got 1 wound left and he's overruns all the way over here. And the Vermin Lord has finally finished off the Magma Dragon. Ha 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 ha. That's him.
So in Dark Elf movement phase, the Cold Ones finally got to charge the Clan Rats. The Master to the front. The Dark Riders moved round to fire at the Poison Wind Mortar, and the Hydra has got an angle on them with its breath weapon. Blackguard just moved a bit further away from the Vermin Lord, and that's it.
Right, the reason we're filming this one bit here is because Jack has just rolled a miscast with Malekith on the Fulcrum, and on the first miscast he rolled a 4, which is
Dimensional Cascade.
Dimensional Cascade, which means now, if Jack now rolls a 1 to 3, this man dies. Let's see what happens. Roll the dice, Jack.
Right, here we go.
Oh, he survives.
Okay, so I then rolled on the Arcane Fulcrum miscast table, and I got the result, I think it was an 8, which means Malekith took on an altered state, was no longer able to control the Fulcrum. He gained some bonus to some of his statistics and some minus to his leadership, and he has to leave the Fulcrum. So basically, the Vermin Lord's still on his Fulcrum, 2 empty Fulcrums, and he's no longer able to cast spells. So what we decided to do is just to see if I rolled next turn a 6, I might still be able to cast spells. Rolled that, I got 5, so I basically lose the game by default. So bloody Malekith. My thinking behind it was, I mean, it's a bit of a long shot to even get the summoning spell off. I thought if I had a bit of luck and Dan rolled badly, I could summon a wizard who could then move on to a Fulcrum. However, the safer bet, although still risky, would have been to not risk that miscast and not cast anything, and then just hope that Dan couldn't summon and skittle leap a wizard onto a Fulcrum. But yeah, so that's it. Can't win the game, so Skaven have won. Well, it's always frustrating to lose a battle like that in a way which perhaps you feel is beyond your control, or perhaps maybe not your fault. But really, I didn't feel too badly at the end of that game. Malekith, obviously in his supreme arrogance, has cost me the game, and I feel it was actually a tactical blunder to even attempt that summoning spell. It would have been much more smart to just focus on denying the Skaven any summoning spells in the following turn, in which case it would have been a draw in terms of fulcrums, and then would have gone on to victory points, and I think I stood a good chance of winning on victory points, since it doesn't look like there's many Skaven left. But I didn't really think that through properly. I just went for the more obvious option of trying to summon, and it cost me the game. So a Skaven win with 1 fulcrum to none. Well, the model of the match I think has to go to the Vermin Lord Corruptor. It just couldn't fail its 3+ ward saves, and it took 1 wound from the Magma Dragon. I think both of us were expecting the dragon to cut through it like it wasn't even there, but it really held up. And yeah, it's pretty deadly in combat as well, especially once it had withered the Magma Dragon. My favourite moment of the battle, I think, still, probably has to be the giant killing the toad dragon, just because that toad dragon is so intimidating, and just to see the giant whack it around the head and for it to turn tail and run and be chased down. It's a shame in a way, because the toad dragon has come out to play a few times now, and it never really seems to do anything, but it's always nice to see it out on the field of battle. But yeah, that giant, I mean, I wasn't too familiar with the rules for giants, but having seen it in action, I think I might be tempted to try and field one more often. But yep, Storm Magic was a fun battle. Lots of really cool things happened. Witch Elves versus Plague Monks, just for example, was very entertaining. And yep, looking forward to the next battle. Hopefully it won't be too long till the next one. So thanks for watching, see you next time.